Session. Council Vice President, you can go ahead and open public meeting statement. I apologize.
This meeting is called pursuant to the provisions of the Open Public Meetings Law. This meeting of March 12, 2019 was included in a list of meeting notes sent to newspapers of record and posted on the bulletin board in the municipal building and has remained continuously posted as required notices under the statute. In addition, a copy of this notice has been available to the public and is on file in the office of the municipal clerk.
Excellent. We can go ahead and stand for the Pledge of Allegiance, please.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Roll call vote, please.
Council President Phillipsburg.
Here.
Council Vice President McVeigh.
Here.
Councilman Davis.
Here.
Councilwoman DeGirolamo. Here. And Councilman Lynn.
Councilman Wilson not coming tonight. Maybe he's running late. Okay, we will go for public comments. Yep. State your name and address for the record.
Public comments that are called as Joe Weiner, 392 South Main Street, Phillipsburg. I don't care about the sign. Garbage cans.
Yes.
Okay, I brought this up a whole bunch of, this one's on.
There you go.
Okay, and in keeping, I want to please tell you to reconsider one more time that the problem that we have on 392 South Main Street, where I live, is that we don't have enough of those garbage cans. First thing, whether you, the truth of the matter is, when you put a lid on your garbage can and you put it out, the first time it goes out, it comes back without a lid. Now, this makes me strongly suspect, and it would be my guess, I believe, the garbage men do not want lids, and so the garbage lids always disappear with the garbage cans. So nobody on South Main Street, or in my section, has lids on their garbage cans unless they're built-in lids, because the garbage men don't want them. It would be nice if they had those lids. My garbage would be much safer, but okay. Second, we need more, not less, garbage cans, because many people like me, I generate this much garbage a week approximately. I take that little bag and I put it with my neighbor's garbage can, who's my tenant. He has one can. As with most of the buildings in the area, you have to take, my tenant has to take the garbage can through his house and put it in the front, because there is no other path. There's no outside way to move the garbage cans around. Okay. Many of the places, for example, on either side of me, I have one residential tenant. On either side of me, I think there's 8 in one and 12 in the other. They also have the same difficulty with garbage cans. And we need a place to put this garbage. There's no nice place on the street. Plain, give us more of those fancy Dan garbage cans. It's not like we generate whole tons of garbage. There are some children living there, but it's not abundance of children. We need a little more space. A few of the public garbage cans that Harry put out for us, yeah, they will be sort of clustered. There might be a few more, but at least in the 3900 block, we need more, not less, garbage cans.
So, Mr. Meyer, if I hear correctly, you want to use the public sidewalk garbage cans for...
Or anything else that looks pretty that we can leave in the front. Yeah, they would end up being some kind of public garbage cans. It was one of the few things left over in one of those specialized budgets where Harry could buy garbage cans and he couldn't spend that particular money on much of anything else. And that money may still be there. The other one First step of 23. I don't like the community flat block grant program because it seems to me it's a stop Mayor Ellis from using block grants by stopping funding, much like Trump crippled Obamacare or tried to by reduced funding. We don't want to do it that way. Other thing, these bond ordinances. Wonderful, it's the first step toward $23 million rumored costs. You gotta face up to it. This is the first step. After you spend this, possibly 6.1 million rather than the 1.3 million, you will know, you'll have a more exact number for what you really need to spend to fix the sewers and both the storm and the sanitary sewers, and another 6 million for shuffling around the police station to finally get a place for it. And there's another $9 million item. You can, if you tackle these numbers in the budget, it's not going to be pretty, but the 6%, I think you can go all the way up to 6% increase, could keep up with the capital expenses in the town. It would cost me, I'm a $4,000 a year taxpayer, it would cost me $240 a year. And then you would keep up with the principal and we'll never go bankrupt. It's really it's important to keep up with that principal. Yeah, right now, our money person, I forget his name, is doing wonderful with his 1% turnover things like crazy, but the economy is going a little crazy.
Are you talking about CFO Merlo?
Yes, yes. And we do not want to let that capital expenditure get out of sight. It's hard, but you can keep up with it, but you have to, in looking at the budget, in these bond issues, know what they're for. They're to find out just how much it's gonna cost, and then you have to have the call it the metaphor. You have to have the guts to spend that money.
Thank you, Mr. Meyer.
If I can just briefly respond.
Sure.
Mr. Minor, I think what you're referring to as far as the garbage cans, I'm not sure I agree with your proposal using them for private disposal, but I do think that we do have a resource available to us through the recycling tonnage grant where we could get similar public garbage cans like they have in Allentown, the ones that are solar powered that will like compress things automatically.
The green, yes.
I do think that, yeah.
They
So,
send them to the mayor.
but and I think that like you said, those funds can't be used for anything else other than disposal. So something I
Could
think
we put those in the front of the building though?
Yeah.
There's no place in the back where everybody can get to them.
I just wanted to let you know you are correct that there is a special fund for that. There are funds in it. Like I said, I'm not sure I 100% agree with your proposal about using them for household disposal, but I think there's probably some intermediary that we can use to put more garbage cans on South Main Street.
Councilman, if I may, when I was going through the budget, I didn't see anything allocated this year for the recycling tonnage grant, did you?
It's an existing fund that has a balance in it. The last time I checked, I think we have tens of thousands of dollars in it that we haven't used in some time.
Excellent, that would be worth looking into then, going with the
I think we should discuss during the budget hearing. Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely, thank you. Council President.
Council President, Todd Tersigni, 378 Grant Street, Apartment 2, Phillipsburg. I see on your bond issue, so I'm going to ask, the question. When I left office, I briefly talked with one of the councilwoman, Deidre Alamo. When I left office, the debt of the town was $6 million. What is the town debt now?
Well, I don't have that answer for you offhand. I did ask, I haven't gotten an answer. I do believe that I could get an answer for you from CFO Marlowe before the end of the week.
Okay.
Unless any of the city councilmen or the municipal clerk know offhand.
I know.
Or councilwomen.
Okay.
As of November, it was just south of 7.
Thank you, Council.
I want to say 6.7, but I'll say south of 7 million. That was a significant year-over-year decrease over the last 10 years.
Right.
Yes.
Thank you for that answer. One other question is, what is the proposed debt? That's what I want to know.
The proposed debt with regard to the budget?
What the mayor's proposing.
Councilwoman? I know she knows.
I do know. I do know.
I have all the emails.
Of course I do, yeah. Well, I haven't gotten a response yet, so before it's significant. I will say that. I'm waiting for an impact statement back from the mayor's office. I've requested one, so I can understand what the tax implication of that debt would be. We haven't introduced the budget yet, so I'm not comfortable talking on that till we introduce it to the public.
So you say it's significant.
Significant. It exceeds our current debt. I'll say that.
Right. If I may, Mr. Chisigny, I would encourage you to attend the meetings that we're going to set for the budget
Right.
hearings. That this way you'll have more of an insight.
I'll have an insight. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Thank you, Council President.
You're very welcome. Thank you for your comment. Is there anyone else? Public comment? There seeing none, we can close public comment. Moving forward to ordinances, I believe, Council Vice President, you had brought up the political signs. Proceed, if you wish.
It's pretty simple. I think it's clear. I don't want our town looking like a circus. I don't want gigantic banners and billboards all over the place, whether they are clean, dirty, whatever it is. Yeah, I believe it's just 9 square feet. It's pretty simple, spelled out in political signs, and I remember being on the other side, listening to the former council talking about it, and then it got into, and some of the people in the audience had, and good points regarding business signs or for rent and things of that nature. We have a section clear, it's 62539, political signs. And it's only 4 points. It's A through D, and I just would like to stick to this. And I would encourage our folks that would enforce this to, especially this political season, being a mayoral election and a few council seats up, that we really keep this to our 9 square feet lawn type sign, however it calls for it. I don't want to see Goodyear blimps flying over or banners hanging off of facades that we're trying to clean up. It's pretty simple. Just support your candidates, whomever they are. Put it on a lawn sign. And that's, this goes for individuals and groups. So,
Council Vice President, may I have support?
Yes, please.
Yes, sir. I appreciate the council's concern with this, but during the time that it was brought up in the previous session, we did extensive research regarding the balance of free speech and appearances in the town. There's an extremely narrow definition that's allowed for restricting free speech, and based on my understanding of the attorney's opinion, there isn't a realistic way to modify this law into a way that's going to be enforceable in a courtroom. So I don't think, while I appreciate the council's desire, I don't think that there's a realistic way for us to modify this law into a format that's going to be universally enforceable.
So, Councilman, are you saying that Section 625 then is pointless?
In so few words, yes. Based on the opinions that I've read, they're the only places that the federal courts have upheld such types of laws is when there's a well-defined aesthetic that I don't think matches what we have in this town in terms of design. So considering our next point is garbage, I think we're going to have a tough time making legal arguments that we're ruining the aesthetic of the town by allowing signs that are larger than 9 square feet.
Okay, the only reason I ask is because as long as they adhere to zoning requirements, right? Like, I mean, if the sign is 4 feet or higher, and it's obstructing the flow of traffic, or
There's also for safety reasons, but when we're talking about aesthetic things, right? Yeah. Yes,
Right.
yes. So I apologize. I omitted that because like there's obviously the I can't remember what
Oh, I have it.
yeah. So like I said, we did research this extensively. As far as political signs go, we're going to end up in a First Amendment fight, and most likely we're going to lose if we try to enforce this.
Are you saying we can put a sign up that says anything, Councilman?
I'm not aware it's not legal advice. But as far as the political sign fight goes, it's a losing one, and I don't think we should be investing time to try and craft something because it's not going to be enforceable.
No, I know, just giving you back the floor.
I appreciate that answer. And I've been waiting a year to bring this up because when I sat out there, I wasn't satisfied with that answer. It's an enforcement issue, it's there. So let's try this. Maybe we can have, throughout this political season, say, people in positions such as a chairperson for each party, maybe put an agreement together to understand we're not going to paint the town red or blue with gigantic signs all over the place, and that's a start. See what we do. I'll say it, I don't care. If it's not enforceable, I get that. First, like the council president said, I mean, listen, we're not, let's be honest, we're not in the business of enforcing anything in this town. So who really cares? I'm sorry, but it's, all right, let's try it this way. Let's see if I can make a public statement out of this. Let's try on both sides, or independents, or a party out there yet to be named, to try to keep it respectable through our political season. Because I drive all over the place and I see yard signs. I enter into Phillipsburg and it's a carnival. So I'm getting it out, and we're coming off this last election, which there was some signs that I wasn't particularly happy with, and I'm sticking to my word that I'm bringing it up, and I don't want to see it go on in this town. So if I get shut down, I get shut down. But let's be realistic about this. If there's other loopholes or such amendment rights, so be it.
So I do believe.
Sorry, I do believe that if it had offensive content, and Councilman Davis would be correct, especially if it's a political sign of political nature, I don't believe that we can remove those signs without violating the state law. Would I be correct, Councilman, in your research? I mean, I've done a little, but I'm almost positive that we would violate the law if we were to remove that.
I can only speak to the very narrow definition of political signs. So like I don't have the full definition of obscenity in all Supreme Court rulings, but since the topic was political signs, that's what I wanted, that's what I'm knowledgeable about.
I'll tell you what, I wouldn't remove no political sign in this town. It'd end up on the front page of the Express.
You do? Okay. Yes, yeah, I'm going to go to each and every one of you. Councilman Lutz, do you have anything? Oh,
No,
I didn't
not
skip you
really,
on
because no
comment.
matter what we're going to talk about or do, there's going to be certain people that are going to do it anyway. So it really doesn't matter. I think it's a lost battle here. I do understand Mr. McVeigh's portion of his comments, but with stuff that's going on today, you never know what's going to happen. Thank you.
You're very welcome, thank you. Now, Councilwoman, I did not. I saved the best for last.
You say so. So I will speak to this. I agree, we have an existing, and it's 9 square feet, and it's not been enforced. I don't agree with Councilman Davis that it's not enforceable based on some other laws and statutes I've read about what can and cannot be enforced. And it can be enforced at the municipal level, which is what this is. Now, if we're going to the federal government to determine who can put a campaign sign up, we're really missing the boat on what we should be talking about fixing in this town. However, let's talk about how the circus started, because I've been waiting for this for 3 years. October 25th, 2016. Dear Mayor, over the weekend I was at the Shell station getting gas. I pulled out of the lot. My view was obstructed by a political sign. In other words, it was dangerous. I have to say, I had to pull out quite far to get clear of the traffic. Now, I've run for elected office 7 times, and I've won 7. I've never been negative, I've never been disparaging, and no one's ever complained or had to file a complaint. Due to the sign's location and safety, I feel I have an obligation to say something before there's an accident. The sign is rather large. It was 35 square feet to be exact. And it got me thinking, how large can a sign be? And we go on to regurgitate 629-39. I can say without a doubt the sign is indeed larger than 9 square feet. I've noticed one at the Exxon station, just the same size. I didn't drive all through town, but here's 2. Can you please look into this? For Mayor Ellis, I passed it along to those who placed it, and the locations noted it will be removed. Thank you for bringing it to my attention. Super. Follow-up email, November 1st. That was written by my husband, by the way. November 1st, 2016. Hello again, Mayor. It's been a week. All those illegal signs are still not taken down. I honestly thought when you said you were contacting people responsible for putting signs up, people would listen to the mayor of the town and do the right thing. So, my question, what's next? They're breaking the law. Is there a fine? I see by the town code there certainly is. Have they been fined? If you let me know who is responsible, I'll call them myself. But why should they be allowed to do this when everyone else is following the rules? It seems to be giving an unfair distinct advantage and you aren't acting. I truly hope this is resolved in the next couple days because it's the right thing to do. Mayor Ellis replies, November 5th. I did go out and measure them. They're, 32 square feet. I'll get back as soon as possible. Suffice it to say, the election ended, the signs weren't removed. So, you know what happened in 2016? Mrs. DiGirolamo started coming to council meetings. In 2017, I asked the same question again. And you know what happened in 2017? What'd we say? We saw a lot of signs because I wanted to make my point well known that when you don't enforce an ordinance, look what can happen. And look what happened. I can tell you to the tune of close to 1,000 signs went around this town. Some of them 20 feet by 10 feet. It's a pretty big sign. So I'd like to think we made our case on what can happen when you don't enforce the town code. So I think we had the same thing happen again. I don't know what to expect the next time around. All I do know is it doesn't matter what people say they will do, it's not going to happen. And nothing happens. Every ordinance on here, why bother? Why bother? We're not doing anything about it, with anything. I've been looking at mattresses and televisions for 3 weeks now. 3 weeks. A block from the police station. Why? Find them. All I asked was go find the people. Go find them. I didn't say get rid of it. Just find them. I could post it on Facebook so and say the TVs are free. I'm sure somebody will pick them up. Right?
Yes, ma'am.
Anyway, that's my, I agree. It's 9 square feet. Everybody behave yourselves. Everybody abide by it. There's no problem. However,
What was the outcome of the lawsuit against Mayor Wyant for the sign where the 2 banners that say welcome to Phillipsburg are when you will come through Union Square? Does anybody remember what the outcome? I know that he was sued by a resident or...
I think that's when they changed the ordinance.
I just want to know what the outcome was. Do you know, is that what...
That when it was beyond local.
Right. Do we know what the outcome was? Councilman Davis, do you know what the outcome was?
I don't recall.
Okay.
Well, you know where I stand. I just think we should enforce the local.
Council, I agree, but I also see Councilman Davis's point to the fact that we could be infringing upon someone's rights. But my concern is more personal. You know, we're starting to get a little crazy in the town of Phillipsburg with regard to campaign signs. And this is going to be a very contentious political season. Every candidate has a family, and I am worried that it is going to be out of control. So I don't even think that we're able to control that. as much as I would like to. I'm at a loss. We can remove it, or we could ask that it be enforced and take our chances with the courts. So I guess we would take a tally of the council and see what you want to do if you're for removing it. Councilman Yields, are you for removing 62539?
No.
Councilman McVeigh, Council Vice President McVeigh?
No, I'm not.
Councilman Davis, are you for removing 62539?
I am not in favor of any action that is not going to be enforceable.
Okay. And Councilwoman DiGirolamo, are you in favor of removing 625-39?
No.
Okay, so Vicky, I believe we're going to have to place this on the, well, I don't even think we need to place this on the next agenda. We need to send a letter to the chief of police and ask him to enforce it from the council. And then we'll take our chances with the courts. Would you like to pass a resolution?
At the next meeting?
Legal opinion?
You can do a request.
Legal opinion?
Well, yeah,
Legal opinions to the council, not to you.
Yeah, for the record, folks, I just want to remind everyone, you can't call out from the stands, either for or against, no clapping, no booing, no screaming, no yelling. I do believe I already asked the council, and says as long as it's content neutral, it does appear to be content neutral. So I think we'll proceed, place it on, we'll send a letter, and we can do that by resolution. We can actually vote tonight. We did say action would be taken. If you wanted
Vote to do it.
to send a letter to
Okay.
the police department, resolution to send a letter
Like the
to...
zoning then.
Yeah.
We don't have
So, we don't have a zoning department, we have land use.
But yeah, I mean, you could put it, I would put the resolution for the next.
Resolution on for the next, okay, so we'll do a resolution for the next meeting.
She said just.
I'll just send them a letter.
Okay, yeah, it's already in place, we'll just send them a letter. Yeah, it's already in place. Should we send a letter to both of the chairs of the Republican Party and the Democratic Party?
Just think it should.
If you so choose.
I was waiting for Councilman Davis's reply too.
I really don't like commingling those things at meetings, so, but as you, whatever the pleasure of the chair is, I would respect.
Thank you, Councilman Davis.
Okay.
Let's move forward to garbage. Councilman Woods, do you want to start this conversation?
Well, I have a big problem with garbage. It's all over Phillipsburg, nothing's being done.
Can't hear.
What the eyesore that, excuse me. What the eyesore that I see every day, and I know this man just came in and he started a business that's on Seagrays in Stockton Street. And if you go in the alley in the rear, go there on a Wednesday night, even on a Tuesday night, it's overflowing into the alley. That's one site. The other site is back on Howard Street. It's the local dump yard now. We took pictures, but evidently they went back and cleaned it up I think on Monday they cleaned it up. But the tires are still laying back there. There's still some furniture. They didn't look over the bank in Perucci's property because now they're throwing it over the bank. It's a big, big eyesore. I don't know what to do about it. We keep on complaining, but nothing really gets done about it. And like I said, we are the people that just initiates the ordinances and resolutions, and hopefully that the mayor takes it over and starts controlling it, but I don't see it doing anything. That's how I feel.
So Councilman, you had also broached the subject of possibly bringing back the cleanup.
Yes, I did. I brought back the one-a-year cleanup on a certain, like in April 1st or whatever. This way, all garbage is picked up, it's all done. Then whoever sets it out will have 24 hours to clean it up. If they don't clean it up, we'll clean it up, and we will serve them a bill with that. That's the only way that this town is going to really, I see, that's going to be cleaned up, because you have so many landlords now that don't care about anything and just throw it out in the street, and it lays out there for days. And when, say like in my area it's Thursday, so they come around, the garbage company comes around Thursday and doesn't pick it up anyway, because they're not supposed to. It's up to the landlord to get rid of the garbage, not the town. So unless they have one cleanup a year. After that, then they don't, it's just out there. Just go down along South Main Street, across from Sullivan's. You see that all the time there. It's all right down the road. It's all right down the road. I'm just trying to think of 2 other places that I saw. One up on the hill and one up on Chambers Street, where people just throw it out, wait for the garbage and see what they pick up, and then I don't know what happens to it, but it's gone. Either we go back with the claw and pick it up, or whatever we do. But number one, we're losing money. We're losing money. We should have the employees. We shouldn't have the employees clean up other people's mess. If we do it once a year, and then have, like I said before, if they put the stuff out, they would get notice. They have 24 hours or 48 hours to get rid of it. If not, we'll pick it up, but they get billed for it. That's how I feel it should go. Thank you.
No, Councilman, thank you. Council Vice President?
I think garbage is an epidemic. And I think it should be a top 3 priority of this current administration on how to, it's affecting our quality of life is what it's doing. And Councilman Lutz mentioned the area down South Main Street, and that is a problem area, and people now are shoving garbages in our public garbage cans. Doesn't make the job any easier for DPW. Enforcement is huge. I don't know, well, I'm not tackle it, I'm just saying, what are we doing about it? So we all have stories out there. We all know people with the out-of-town plates dumping stuff. Councilwoman just mentioned about just down the street from the police station, the televisions, the mattresses, and things of that nature. It's not hard, it's enforceable. I did some shifting around in my house recently, and I told you about it, and you still have not picked me up.
I didn't go get mine either.
All right, so
I got to get you a mattress.
I have a
Yes.
twin-size mattress. It's clean as heck. It was my daughter was on it, but I'm not getting that anywhere near any garbage. I have it separated. I'm waiting to do it properly. To get a $2 bag, wrap it up, and throw it, right? So that's what we're going to do. And in addition to make the calls, it should be. It's a quality of life issue. It's an epidemic, and it's got to be heavily enforced. Going back to what you said as a young man, I looked forward to garbage. I looked forward to that once a year. I really did. And it would actually, if there's a rule in my house, if you haven't used it in a year, get rid of it anyway. So if you got something, you can stick it in the corner, knowing that there's an April date or whatever date it was. And I think it was around the spring, because it encouraged a spring cleanup in and around your property and outside the house. I think we should look into the cost. And if it does come with more of a cost, but if it improves the quality of life of what we're driving around and seeing, I'm all for it. It just really should be taken.